Hi everyone, I'm Imtiaz, and today we are back with another session of the Bridge Live. So today with us, we are lucky to have Mr. Atanta Sharat Kamal. So he's the greatest ever paddler of our country. He's the greatest table tennis player of our country. He is a nine-time national champion and also won a gold medal in the Commonwealth Games. So without further ado, let's welcome Sharat to us.
Hi, hello Imtiaz. Hope you guys are fine and safe.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine too. Thank you.
So how are things going with you, like in this lockdown with 3 months?
Yeah, it's been up and down. There have been days which have been really very nice because you get to spend a lot of time with family. But at the same time, you miss the sport. You want to get out there. You want to practice. You want to compete. You want to train. So none of that is happening, and I doubt if any of that is going to happen for the next couple of months also. So the uncertainty makes it a bit more difficult. But yeah, pretty much I'm trying to keep myself fit, doing my workouts at home, which is also restricted space. You don't have the right equipment. But still, I'm lucky that my fitness trainer is able to keep me motivated and come up with new exercises every now and then. Uh, I started training a little bit, table tennis training, because I have a table in my mom's house. So I can train with my younger brother, who is a former Indian team player. He's quit now. So I train with them sometimes, but now Chennai has come into the another lockdown now, which will end this Sunday. So hopefully Monday again I will be able to train a little bit more.
So in this 3 months, so we are going through a period of uncertainty, and we don't know when will things be all right and when normalcy will be back. So what do you think? Like, is there any kind of conversation with the table tennis association? Like, when will things be normal and when you guys can go ahead and play? So this is
Yeah,
something.
all of us are pretty much in contact. The federation is in contact with the players. The players internally also we are in very much contact, trying to find out, figure out how is there any way we can get into training together. Because all of us are back home now, and most of them come from different cities. So you don't have sparring partners first, and secondly, you don't have the right kind of environment in every place. So if you come to the National Training Center, or you have or all of us come together to practice at a place, then that's the best. But at this point of time, with social distancing, and we don't know when the situation is going to get better with all the travel restrictions and everything. It is it's a bit difficult for us at this point of time. But what we are hoping is we should be able to start at least combined training sessions where all of us can, come together and practice with, while following the SOPs given by the sport ministry
Hmm.
to practice. Hopefully by August. So that is what all of us are looking at, but we don't know at this point.
So coming back to the same thing, like, do you think that there will be some change in the time, the format, the way the game is played in the coming days?
Um, Technically, there shouldn't be any changes technically,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
there could be a small change because if you want to sanitize the balls,
Hmm.
because the balls, once you
Hmm.
use
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
a say for a set or for a game,
Hmm.
where if you want, you can generally we reuse balls. So using a ball generally lasts for almost a tournament. So
Yeah.
or if you want newer balls, yeah, it's a lot of people prefer to play with little older balls, than
Hmm.
this completely. So a ball can be reused. So then, if you sanitize a ball,
Hmm.
will it change the physical uh, qualities of the ball? That's something which we don't know. And if it changes, if that has to be done, and if that changes, what do we have to do technically to change? So these are things which we don't know. Apart from that, the International Federation is also in talk with the players, trying to get more input on what could be done. If it's okay, if we could play with gloves, so that gloves and a mask, or how is it going to be? So yeah, those would be the changes primarily, to have the social distancing. But apart from that, I doubt if there's going to be any changes.
So just a thing I want to tell our audience, like you can send your questions in your comment section of the Facebook Live, and we can go ahead with, you can take your questions later on. So, sir, do you think that this is the golden period for Indian table tennis? Because like you are there, still there playing, and there are a bunch of young talented players. You have Satyan, you have Anthony Amalraj, and among the women you have Manika Batra. So, what do you think about the entire team?
Yeah, not just the current playing members, but also the bench strength. So let's say the
Hmm.
guys who are coming in for the next
Hmm.
generation, like Manav Thakkar, who's currently world number one in under 21.
Hmm.
There's Archana Kamath, who's I think world number two in under 21, and she was close. She finished number four in
Hmm.
the Youth Olympic Games.
Hmm.
So the lot of young talents, and the current team is also very very good. I think
Hmm.
we've stabilized ourselves since the last couple of years, and
Hmm.
2018 was the best year
Hmm.
performance-wise we've had. We at the Commonwealth Games and the Asian Games, first time in 60
Hmm.
years we got that medal at the Asian Games. And from there we continue to keep raising on, and we had our best ranking of world number eight team ranking. Indian men were world number eight. So that came out, in the recent times. And then me winning Oman Open after a break of 10 years, on winning
Hmm.
a Pro Tour on the ITTF circuit. So for table tennis, it's really, really fantastic. This is the best times table tennis has ever had. And it looks even better for the future days, because of the young crop who are, ready and raring to go beyond, achieve things beyond what we've done. And I'm pretty sure that will happen, because the Federation, Sports Authority of India, they're giving them the right kind of platform to perform.
So now let's take a detour from TT, and now let's try to know how Sharad Kamal as a person is. So did you pick up any hobby lately in the lockdown?
Not really. Everybody's been asking me that if I picked up any hobby, or if I'm binge watching TV, or but yeah, I have kids at home. A 2-year-old son, he'll be 3 soon, and a 9-year-old daughter. So
Okay.
spending time with them itself, because until now I've been on the tour so often, and I don't get to spend so much time. And this is probably one of the first times when I've spent 3 months continuously with my family. So spending time with them has been really, something which I missed out and I was looking forward for. And apart from that, that comes with an added responsibility of taking care of them, the
Yes.
work that comes along with them. So that occupies most of my time also. So I really haven't been able to uh, do another hobby. Apart from, yoga and meditation is something which I always wanted to do. So that's something which I'm able to do during this lockdown.
So I've heard that the table tennis players are always busy, like they are touring outside India and always going somewhere to play tournaments. So this is probably the time you can take some rest and think about.
Yes, yes. Not just table tennis. I think sports, by and large, at this point of time, it's become
Hmm.
so competitive, and the calendar is completely full. It's just
Hmm.
completely full.
Hmm. So tell me, are you interested in music? Any did you play any kind of instrument?
I used to play the guitar,
Okay.
and I just told my wife a few months when the lockdown started, I want to,
Okay.
buy a guitar. She said, "I'll."
Uh,
If you have any spare time, do spend it with me. That's what she said. Because my daughter is learning the keyboard.
hmm.
So today I was just helping her play "Count on Me" by Bruno Mars. So I was
Okay,
just,
okay.
and I like chords. I like music a little bit. I do
Yeah.
a little bit. I'm not so good. I just understand a little bit of music, and I like playing. So I just keep helping her with that. So yeah, once probably the lockdown eased out, and probably if I can go to a shop to get a guitar or something, I'll
Uh,
probably pick one.
is she also into some kind of sport, your daughter?
No. She started playing table. Like, of course,
Uh, yeah,
my father kept taking her
yeah.
to the club, but somehow
Okay.
she didn't,
Okay.
pick up. My son, in fact, shows more interest in table tennis or generally sports.
So growing up as a kid, so what sports did you follow, and what sports do you feel like you follow still now? And
See,
who were your idols?
I like to play a lot of other sports also, and
Mm,
that
mm,
is what has kept myself fit, because I do a lot of cross sport. I play a lot of different sports, which has helped me be fit with different muscle groups, and that has helped me. Like, for example, football is something which I've always played from my younger days. So
okay.
earlier, when I was younger, we used to play it on the beach. We used to play on the
Mm,
grounds. Then I went into Europe. Then I
mm,
got to watch football very
mm,
closely. I've like seen Beckham like really 10 feet away from me. So that was how
okay.
close I was to the field, almost in the
Okay.
first seats in Real Madrid. And Real Madrid is one of my favorite stadiums because the kind of atmosphere you got there. Then when I moved into Germany, then there's Dortmund, where
Yeah.
nearly 85. That's one of the highest capacity stadiums with 85,000. So then I could see Cristiano Ronaldo
Okay.
and Gareth Bale. Real Madrid had come there, so I don't know whom to support.
Oh,
Do I support
okay.
Real Madrid or the home team there?
Okay.
So yeah, football is something which I've always played, and off late I've been playing some squash and some badminton just to have to keep myself fit, because sometimes fitness gets monotonous. So
Mm.
sport keeps it easy. It's quite it makes fitness interesting.
One of the fans is asking, what are
Hmm.
your views on the UTT, like the league like UTT that is helping intelligence to grow?
Yeah, UTT started in the year 2017, and
Mm,
has been one of the major reasons
mm,
why Indian table tennis is in the golden
mm,
era. I think the
mm,
Federation, Sports Authority of India, and UTT has come together, given us the right platform to
mm,
support us, and give us the right kind of exposure we needed. I went into Europe when I was 21, 22, way back in
mm,
2004, uh,
mm,
in search of the kind of exposure UTT is giving to the youngsters here.
mm.
So that's the best, thing that has happened to the Indian table tennis, because of which the youngsters are also doing very, very well in it.
So going back to discussions and like, who were your sporting idols? Like,
Uh, Keeps changing. You know, I still remember 1992 World Cup, I
mm,
guess. Yeah,
mm,
1992. Yeah. World Cup when I was watching Diego Maradona. My
mm,
father used to watch late night the World Cup, and I used to sit along with him. I was just 10, 11 years old, watching Diego Maradona, how he took the whole team. That was
mm,
fantastic how he could play. Then, as I slowly grew up into teenage, then our own, Gopi Chand from badminton won the All England. Not, yeah, towards a little bit later,
yeah.
99, the All England. So at that point of time, you hear stories about Gopi and how hard he works and how good he
Mm,
is. Then actually, I got to see him play in 2001 at
mm,
national games in
mm,
Jalandhar. I played the national. That was my first national games, and he played there. And it was like he was just walking on the court when the others were panting for breath and moving so fast, trying to get the shuttle across to him.
yeah.
So the ease with which he played was fantastic. And then came Roger Federer. It was,
Yeah.
it was just awe
Serious.
to see him play. And 2004 Olympic Games, I just meet him at the dining hall. we just walk across each other. I was like like a small kid at a candy store. So actually, I can actually say that I dined with Roger Federer because we were sitting very close and sitting. He was alone, I was alone, but I can say we were there. I dined with Roger Federer.
That must be a moment to cherish. So, like, what else? Like, what are your interests? Like, tell us more. What the books you read or the movies you watch? Can you share?
The books, I'm not. Yeah, I don't read so much, but there have been periods when I was reading a lot,
Hmm.
especially when I was growing up and
Hmm.
struggling years when I'm trying to
Hmm.
set foot, into the Indian team and stuff.
Hmm.
At that point of time, they read a lot of books on the mental abilities and
Hmm.
personality development and stuff.
Hmm.
So those were, like the monk who sold a Ferrari, or those
Hmm.
books are still, which makes I can still pick that book up
Yeah.
and read it. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So those are books which those are the genre of books I like to read. And movies are, yeah, I'm a movie buff, and the Matrix is something which I still can see, where Neo goes in to meet.
Yeah. One of the
Yeah,
greatest
goes in.
movies.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne, Keanu Reeves. They just meet in that room, and when he explains how the mind can unlock,
Hmm.
beyond the physical barriers. So that's
Hmm.
something which I was reading in the book,
Hmm.
and then I could actually see that being explained in that movie. So science fiction is something which something which goes beyond your imagination, like Interstellar. You watch that movie first time,
Your
you
mind going
it
yes.
feels like, yeah,
Slowly.
it feels like you're going crazy over the whole thing, and then when the background music keeps playing again and again, it's like something which, how can you even think of some things like that?
True.
Let's say Terminator Part
Hmm.
1 came out in 1986. How
Hmm.
can James Cameron think of something like that, in
Hmm.
1986? Those are movies which are very, very forward.
Now let's take another viewer question. So, what's the funniest incident you have come across during any tournament?
Oh, there have been a lot of funny incidences. Well, just a fan thing.
Yeah.
2006, I won the Commonwealth Games gold medal
Yeah.
in singles, and it was a long match. It was very, very close. I won very close, and then all of a sudden, from the fans, two young girls. They're probably teenagers.
Hmm.
They're like shouting out, "Will you marry me?" I'm like, I'm like blushing. So, and then I see exactly happening to Rafael Nadal, where and then there's this
Yeah.
video where they
Yeah.
ask Steffi Graf, "Marry me," and she asks, "How much money do you have?" And when
Yes.
Rafael Nadal, he's
I've
like
seen that
blushing.
video.
Yeah, I was also blushing it away. But yeah, those are moments which is funny, but at the same time, you'll
Yeah.
remember for a lifetime.
Coming back to the present Indian team, who are your best mates in the team? Like, who's the one with you gel well the most?
Um, well, Satyan is of course the best teammate
Hmm.
to have, because
Hmm.
between me and Satyan, you know,
Hmm.
there's no competition between us, because he looks up to me. He still calls me big brother. He calls me Anna.
Hmm.
And I look at him as the fiercest like the player who India has, and the
Hmm.
way he's going ahead with his rankings, his improvement has been fantastic. But at the same time, he takes the complete team along with everyone, and also to me, he's the one who's pushing me too. Many
Hmm.
times he's telling me that, yeah, this tournament you should go out and play, and this maybe you shouldn't play. He helps me
Hmm.
with his plannings, and also helps the other youngsters. So Satyan is really nice. I think the bunch of this team now: Harmit Desai, Manav
Hmm.
Taka, Amal
Hmm.
Raj,
Hmm.
these Anil Shetty. These are players who are team guys, and it's really nice to be with them around. it's always fun with them.
So someone is asking, when you won the ITTF World Challenger title almost after a decade, how do you feel that? Do you feel that there was still table tennis left in you and you have a lot to give?
If what was the second part? Like what?
Like, how do you feel after winning the ITTF Challenger?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Uh,
So did you? Tell me.
yeah. Yeah, it took me 10 years to win the second title. I won it first time
Hmm.
in 2010. I got my
Hmm.
career best ranking back then of 38.
Hmm.
Then now I won it and got my career best ranking of 31.
Hmm.
So really happy, to see that what I've been working and the thing was this was a preparation for the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, but
Hmm.
unfortunately moved to another year. I'll have to start all over again. I started the process back in November
Hmm.
2019, and I was starting to peak. And Oman was one of the tournaments where I wanted to do well because the Olympic qualifiers was coming up after that. So when I won that, it gave me the right kind of confidence to
Hmm.
take on the whole world. So
Hmm.
would have been good to play the Olympics this year, but yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation for the whole world, and I'm looking forward for 2021.
So, Sharad, you have played tournaments across the world and you have visited a lot of places. Which is your favorite place and why is it the most memorable place?
As a player, I like Australia. The audience are fantastic. It's
Hmm.
it's really very nice. The
Hmm.
audience are like I don't know. They know when to cheer. They are
Hmm.
very they know when to be quiet, and there's no
Hmm.
bad behavior from the fans. And they're very sporting, and the country as much also is pretty much relaxed and very nice. And it's been very lucky for me too. 2006 won two gold medals. 2018 won one gold, one silver, one bronze. And at the Australian Opens, every year
Hmm.
I do quite well there, always making
Hmm.
it to the main draws or
Hmm.
doing pretty well. So Australia is one of the favorite destinations for me as a player.
So now, since you are the flag bearer of table tennis in our country, tell me how was like your childhood? How much support did you get from your parents? And do you think that similar support can make a table tennis player today? Because you see, there's a lot of digital interventions. People like kids are still like taking up mobiles and picking up games younger age. Do you think that much concentration they can give at this moment, this point of time?
See, I think we can't compare the
Hmm.
times what I had as a youngster to the times what is
Hmm.
there now.
Hmm.
Because of course it's very very different. The times have changed, and
Hmm.
you need to be tech savvy these days. Back then you
Hmm.
don't need to be that tech savvy. So these days you need to know how to handle the
Hmm.
gadget. So as at a young age, if you learn it, it's easier. And of course, this is how their life is going to be as for the future generations. They're going to have the social media. They're going to have these distractions. So now we'll have to work around this situation. Back then, if you look at 30 years ago, we didn't have let's say I would never bought a flight to go abroad to train. I didn't
Hmm.
have the money. I didn't have the
Hmm.
exposure. But these days it's different. Everybody is able to travel on flights, and the internet has opened up the knowledge to everybody. Earlier, it knowledge about the sport used to be in certain pockets. It wouldn't spread from there. So
Hmm.
if you want to be a good player, you need to go there. And now it's not
Hmm.
that way. So it's just different eras, different times, and you
Hmm.
just have to adapt into the new system. Of course, there are
Hmm.
too many things now for the youngsters to keep focus on, but
Hmm.
we'll have to find a way to work around with everything.
Hmm. So one of our viewers, Nitish Kumar, is asking, so Olympics has been postponed to more than 1 year actually. So you think you can still be around and make it to the Olympics next year?
No doubt, yeah, because I've put my heart and soul in preparing for
Hmm.
the 2020 Olympic Games, and I'm currently the best ranked Indian also. And
mm,
my one of my best rankings, my best ranking has been
mm,
30, so I'm at 31 now. And
mm,
there's no doubt about 2021
mm,
Olympic Games
mm.
with me being around. A lot of people are asking me if I'm going to be around for 2024, which is a decision I need to make.
So another one, Shauriji Pondol from West Bengal is asking, like, it's your birthday month, right? So he's wishing you
Yes.
advanced birthday.
Okay.
And
Thank you very much.
what's your plan on that day? Will be
Uh, there are no plans, man. Can't make any plans now due to the situation.
uh,
Only virtual plans if you can make, but yeah,
yeah.
no, I haven't planned anything.
So staying at home, did you pick up anything like you cooking or something? Maybe? Can you hear me?
Sorry, yeah, the internet is down. The internet
Yeah.
is down.
So
Now probably
so
yes. Yeah.
in this lockdown, did you pick up cooking? Do you,
I can. I could always cook. I could always cook
okay.
because I was in Europe for 14 years,
Hmm.
so I had to cook for myself. So I'm not very good though, but
Hmm.
I can cook a decent meal, and many times when my wife is tired, I can
Okay.
help my wife with the cooking and take care of my kids. And yeah, sometimes I take care of breakfast because breakfast is a little bit easier, and I have time because I'm a very early waker, so I have time to prepare for breakfast.
Someone is saying that your wife is very talented. You have to say that.
I don't know. Yeah, but she's a pretty good cook. Yeah, she's quite talented
Uh,
in that.
okay. Okay. So now next question. So, going forward, so what will be your initial target right after this lockdown is lifted? What will be the initial
See, the
target?
main target is the 2021
Hmm.
or 2020 Olympic Games, Tokyo
Hmm.
Olympic Games,
Hmm.
2021. So that is
Hmm.
going to be the primary target, primary goal.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, but we still don't have the calendar set out.
Hmm.
We don't. Everything is on standby at this point of time. So only when we get to know the calendar and we get to know which tournament is happening, when can we plan accordingly and prepare ourselves accordingly. So the most important thing would be the qualifiers for the Olympic Games, which I should normally qualify, and the Olympic
Hmm.
Games.
Hmm. So tell me that how many brands are you associated with right now?
Not really, man. Table tennis, we are still not
Uh,
there. And, I can be
okay.
associated with a lot of brands. I am
Okay.
I am part of Indian Oil Corporation.
Hmm.
They are my they have given me a job there. I've
Hmm.
been with them since 2003, and I yeah they primarily have been with me since 2003 and major source of support. Then I have my equipment sponsor as Andro
Hmm.
Table Tennis, which is a German
Hmm.
brand, and
Hmm.
I've been playing with them with their rubbers and their blades, and
Hmm.
so it's one of the best I feel, and it's
Hmm.
helped me in the last couple of years. Uh, Apart from that, that's it. Lakshya Foundation is helping
Yeah.
me with,
Hmm.
helping with organizing helping me financially
Hmm.
for the support. My mental coach and my dietitian are taken care of them. It's taken care by them. So
Hmm.
these are primarily my sponsors.
So we are almost at the end of our live session. So we'll take some fan questions right now. So like you shared all your funniest incidents there. Now can you tell us something about the most bizarre incident that you faced in your career?
Uh, just a simple one was
Yeah.
we are traveling into Europe
Hmm.
for a match,
Hmm.
and we started from India. We reached the airport.
Hmm.
We get there to see there's nobody to pick us up. There's no signs of anything.
Hmm.
the federation booked us the tickets, and we are there. We waiting. We don't know. Back then, we didn't have phones for international, phones to call up the organizer to find out. And then, yeah, we were waiting there for a while, and nothing to be found out. And after a while, we take the prospectus out, and we ask a local shop there, a stall there, how to go to this address, because we had the address of the stadium. How to go to the address? They said, "You're in the wrong city. This is not this is not the right city. You need to." The spellings were pretty close,
Okay.
So we we ended up in a city which was like 300-400 kilometers away from each other,
Oh.
and then we had to take a train into going into the other city. So things like the stuff like that happens when you're traveling.
Yeah.
At that point of time, you're stressed up with the whole thing, but then when you look back at it, it's funny, and the way and also when you're traveling with the team, it's a little bit easier. You have somebody to share the burden with.
So my last question to you would be, what do you want to tell our future table tennis players who are going up to
Well, I think to all the table tennis players out there, I would say that when I was growing up as a table tennis player, India was almost close to number 30 in the world, and the best players were almost the average. There was one player in the top 100, but if you look at the average rankings of the players, were like 200 or 300, and now we've broken that. Over a period of time, we've come to 30s, 30 in the world, and number 8 in the world for team. To the youngsters, I would always say we need to aim very high. That is the main process. How we, this generation, we could come come so far. We need to aim very high, and we need because only when you aim very high, you will be able to push yourself physically and mentally to work beyond your own limits. So that's something which I keep telling all the youngsters, and I would like to share the same thing here.
Thank you, Sharad. Thank you for giving us your time. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Imtiaz.
So we are at the end of our live session. Hope you enjoyed. And next week we'll be back with another live with another athlete. Till then, keep following the bridge. Goodbye.
Thank you.